Welcome to the Football Historian Podcast.
By all means, enjoy it.
He will go right to the very top.
Dos, tres, cuatro times.
Here we go, Germans.
I will turn these results round.
All right, that's good manners.
There's animosity, but there's no fight.
If you can't beat them, join them.
How do you make me feel sick if I look at you?
No, I want to fight here.
Don't drink, don't sleep with women, don't drive fast cars.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit too!
Hello, welcome to the Football Historian Podcast. This week, our guest is Karl Porter, but before we get into that, I've got a question from Matthew. Thank you very much, Matthew. It says, why did Nicolas Anelka wear goalkeeper gloves? So for anyone who's not aware, Anelka scored twice at Wembley against England in 1999. It was a 2-0 victory, a great day for Anelka, you'd think, but ever since there's been a bit of, I'll say, a conspiracy theory going as to why he wore goalkeeper gloves. In truth, no one seems to really know, but just to explain the story for you, it seems to have been missed at the time, and even match reports never actually mentioned the fact that Nicolas Anelka, the French striker, was playing outfield in goalkeeper gloves. There were several other members of the French team who had gloves on. They just had normal gloves on. It may have been the fact that he decided it was a cold night in England, he needed some warmth, and the only gloves in the dressing room were Fabien Barthez's. But for some reason, he scored twice and he got goalkeeper gloves on. And in answer to your question, Matthew, no one knows why. So the only way we can solve this is by getting Nicolas Anelka in the studio. I reckon that's manageable. Why not, eh? You all message him, ask him why he's wearing goalkeeper gloves, or ask him to come on the pod. Thank you very much, Matthew. And if you want to send a question in, it's the footballhistorianpodcast@gmail.com. Please let me know. I'm happy to answer any question within reason. This week is Karl Porter. He's a comedian. You may know him best from his slow motion celebration, which went completely viral. It's got millions upon millions of views. He's not just a slow-mo guy, though. Obviously, he's going to talk to us about his comedy career, being brought up in Manchester, but being a Liverpool fan as well. And he also has stuck around for our Patreon special, which is going to be coming up. Just £1 a month for our Patreon, remember. And you get to see Karl answer some questions in a mastermind style against some of the other lads as well. Stick around for the episodes, sign up for the Patreon, send a question in, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the Football Historian Podcast. I'm joined today by Karl Porter. Thank you very much for coming to the garage.
No problem, buzzing to be on. Thank you.
No worries at all. So I just want to get it out the way, and I'm sure what you're going to ask, but you know what I'm going to ask about you being good at doing stuff dead slow.
Yeah.
So 50 million views on your Instagram, I looked before.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I just want to ask about, obviously there's so many questions, you've probably been asked them 100 times. I think I saw someone who said you've been doing it for about 6 months before it went big. Is that true? Or how long were you doing it before it became on everyone's phone?
Yeah, I reckon like it was 6 or so months in comedy, doing it in in my set. I think like my comedy anyway in general is like physical. So like I just grew up watching football, like just watching games, like doing all this and sliding on my knees. My mum's like, grow up, what are you doing? Still like 20 years old doing it. And then like when I got into comedy, I think I just like one day did it in front of someone and they were like, oh, I should put that in your set. So I think I did it at Hot Water like early last year and it just got a good reaction. I thought, you know, just like develop it more. And then the video, what I did, I just felt like that was the perfect clip to put out with like how the footage was. So yeah, about 6 months before the clip went. Yeah,
I know like a lot of comedians are like maybe not skeptical, but like they don't always want to put the best stuff online because once you've done that, it's been banned and it's done. So was it a deliberate decision of yours to say like this is? Do you think it was your best bit when you did it and like get rid of it now, or was it this will make me massive, or what was your thought?
That was it. I didn't even know what, because like the funny story was like my editor and like good friend Phil Sutton. He about a month before I put that video out, I was sat with him, and he said, you should start putting reels out. I'd never put any like my bits out before on socials, and ironically he was like, oh, put this, let us know when you want to put clips out. And that was the first clip I sent him to say, can you edit this and I'll put this out, not knowing what was going to happen. And then I put that out, and then like a few days after I was like, oh, it's done well, innit? And everyone was like, do you reckon? I was like, yeah, it's just because you don't know what's going to do well, do you? Like you just don't know what's going to hit the world or whatever, and how overnight, because I think it was just overnight I woke up and it was like on 1 million. And it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, just bonkers.
Is there regrets then about putting it out there, thinking I should have just kept doing this in clubs and that, or do you reckon it helps you get to another level?
No, like, fortunately I've been able to like quit my day job and like I'm like kind of full time doing comedy, and I feel like 100% that's the reason why. Like at shows, you know, some people will be like, "Oh, do it," like to this day, and like I'll do it in like when I'm doing my actual shows. But if it's just a gig and that, like, not like I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm too good to do it," or if it's just you just don't want to be known as that like one trick pony. You want to be like, "Oh, I've got more," so I kind of tend to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was looking at one of your gigs as well. I think you did like a tennis thing, the same style.
Oh yeah, that was the same.
Yeah.
Same
So
night.
like that. Is it got to be something that you'll put out there again and try a different take on it, or do you reckon that's it? Slow-mo's done. Let's find the next big clip.
It depends really. Like I don't think I'll put it like necessarily out as a clip from my stand-up anymore.
Yeah.
Because that clip originally, like I was actually doing a gong show. Like I was never actually doing like, I don't know if you don't know what gong shows are, anyone, like it's just you've got to last on stage, like you know 5 minutes. So like I was doing all, because when you watch the tennis clip you see a light flash on me. That was my 2-minute saving grace, and then after that I've got but fortunately the slow-mo football clip and the slow-mo tennis, I did those first to kind of like, and then I kind of felt like I got the audience now, so it was kind of like whatever after that wasn't going to be as good, but it kind of kept me on stage. So yeah, necessarily I don't think I'll do anything in terms of that anymore on my own.
Yeah, and then you've done loads of different interviews, I'm sure, been loads of places, not just here.
Yeah.
So you've been somewhere even better. But hey,
Bigger garage in that now.
what's like the biggest thing that's come from doing it? Do you think like the best opportunity you've had off the back of it?
Probably EA Sports launch night last year. That was like just fucking, obviously like, I'm a big footy fan, and they like contacted me just saying like, we want you to come to is it the new game? Because I don't really play consoles. Is it like EA Sports FC?
Yeah, EAFC.
Yeah, because it's changed now from FIFA, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically said, come down to London. I think it was like September, October last year. And they said, we want you to come on stage, Young Philly and Harry Pinero, the YouTubers, they were hosting the night. And they said, you'll come on and you'll just do your slow motion bit, and that's it. You can just enjoy the rest of the night. And it was like, yeah, it was mad, because they had like Thierry Henry there, Ian Wright, Heung-min Son, like who else? Rio Ferdinand. Like they just had all, like it was just a bit mad. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like a different world. And like you had, I think Cyben were there, just all these influencers all over the gaff, and I'm just like, you know, like just a bit like I was with my fiance at the time, wife now, love you, and it was just a bit like mad for us both, because it was like, what is going on? Like it was just a bit, maybe it was a bit too much, like for me, just because it's like I wasn't used to that stuff, but I just like soaked it in and enjoyed it. So yeah.
So are you still not full-time comedy when you're doing that as well? Like you're getting that opportunity whilst
I'm still working.
Yeah.
So I had work like not the next day, the day after, and I was going, yeah, I've just been chilling with Don Marie. So what do you need doing? Right, so it was still a bit mad.
Is that when you realise probably it's time to stop working, or was the money side not coming in straight away? It was just like opportunities.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I felt like when everything kicked off, like it was like the best kind of opportunity where I looked at it. Because I remember like a couple of years ago, my missus was like, you need to maybe just be careful and sensible with it. Like don't just go into comedy full time knowing there might not be any money there yet. But when everything kicked off, I thought this is probably the best opportunity, and I just kind of took the risk at the same time, just to say I know what I want to do in my life. Like I've been knowing what I want to do in my life for a few years and stuff, and it's comedy, so I just took that leap, I guess, and fortunately it's working out for now.
Yeah,
so.
that's boss. Well, I don't want to just keep going about the slow-mo stuff, but obviously I've seen people like comedians saying to like, you get a comedian like yourself, maybe who blows up off one clip or one moment. Does that, because you said there people are calling out for you to do the slow-mo again, do you think that makes future gigs harder, that people are either thinking it or saying it, you know, when's you got to do the slow-mo bit or do it again? Does that make it harder for you, do you reckon, now to try and do something else or not?
Because obviously like I kind of because I'm doing like a lot of sketches at the minute on my socials. Like I'm just putting out football related sketches and other sports, but I feel like I just have that mindset of like, I'm gonna try this bit at the gig, like new stuff, and just see where it goes. Like I'm not, like I said, like last night there was a gig where some guy was like, slow-mo, like just like 2 minutes into my set, and I was doing 20 minutes, and I was just like, and I think like now I'm just telling stories off it. Like I think I told a train story about, like, I don't know if you mind me saying, but I was on a train once, and this guy got on with 3 of his kids, and I'd just been to a gig, I'd made headphones in, these kids were running up and down the aisle. I was like, fucking, it's 11 o'clock, calm down. But then I looked up, and it was like the most humble moment. Like all 3 kids were just like stood on the chairs doing the slow-mo. But then I kind of looked up, one of them looked at me and then realised, is that him? So he come over to me and he was like, "Are you the slow motion man?" And I was like, "Maybe." Like, but I was like, yeah. And it was just a cool moment because I feel like when it's like younger generation who are like, "Oh, you're that," you know what I mean? It's a bit humbling. It's like, fucking hell, like kids are like, "Can I get a picture and stuff?" So maybe I'll just say that stuff instead of actually doing it because even people on the street, like if I'm like out with a message, they'll go, "Oh, do it, lad," and they'll literally like get the phones out and go on, do it. "Oh, just do it." And I'm like, mate, I'm literally out with a message, like just nah.
Well, that's it. I think we had Milo McCabe, Troy Hawke on as well. He was saying like people do similar to him, saying do that, and I'd be like, you're not performing, you're not in character. Obviously, it's easy a character, and you're not in the mode of performing. You're not just gonna be walking around the Tesco doing a
like
celebration,
trying to pay in the self-service, and like, and everyone's like,
you might get a free shop out of it, like.
Hopefully, yeah.
No, but it's I saw something else in comedy as well. Someone saying one of the first things you should do when you go on stage is try and answer the question that the audience might be thinking of you. So like, say you've got a scatty eye or you've got a hole in your jeans, try to address the question. Is that something that maybe you just try and get out the way now, like, you're right, I'm not going to do the slow-mo and then get on with it, or do you just want to try and avoid it all?
Nah, I don't think I'd ever do that on stage. Like, I'm not going to do it because I feel like it's a bit vain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could come across like, all right, mate, you know what I mean? Like, because some people go, who are you? Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's at that point where I think people may, like you said, expect it, but if people do just shout out or something, because there has been people after shows go, "Oh, you didn't do the slow motion." I'll just go, "Yeah, like I'll do it," like, because I'm doing Karl and Friends at the minute, and like I'll open the show with the Verve Bittersweet Symphony, is it?
Yeah,
like I play that and then I come onto that and just do it, get it out of the way, and then it's kind of, because I feel like it's a good way to do that, because then people won't be like 25 minutes into the set just going, "Oh, when do you reckon he's going to do it?" I've just done it, and then they're like, "Hold on, there's like an hour left."
Concentrate then.
Yeah. So they're a bit like, "Oh, he's got more." Like, it's not just that. So, yeah, I just tend to do it like that, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, obviously, I was going to talk to you about comedy in general as well after that. I know you're not just a slow-mo guy, but I just wanted to get out the way. Obviously, you said there becoming a pro comedian, and like, you obviously, it sounds like your fiance is very supportive of it all. But how long did it take before you did your first 5-minute set to then realising, you said this is your dream and you want to be living it? How long did it take to realise, you know, I might actually be able to do this?
I think it was weird, mate, because I did like comedy at uni like 10 years ago, and my manager at the minute, funny enough, we went to a uni together, and I think I stopped doing it in like 2017, just like, because I was doing it like occasionally, and then 2019 he kind of like pulled me outside of a pub and told me off in a way, because he was like, "You should do comedy," you know what I mean? And I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna try and get back into it, but it's just when." And then I think when I got back into it, a few gigs, I think I did the Frog and Bucket, like I won the Beat the Frog, and I just like, after that I was just like, there's no better buzz as a comedian, going on stage, doing your own stuff, people laughing, and just getting, even if you get like the odd compliment like, "Oh, that was sick, that lad," it's just a bit like, feels good that, like, you're just going on stage, like, you know, being a dick on stage, like doing, like you said, slow-mo, do you know what I mean? And people like take to it. So I think it was like straight away I was like, I want to do this for a career, 100%.
That's, but I don't, it's talk about family and friends. Is it something you admitted to everyone? Obviously, it was different. So you do the uni course first before you did anything? Was that the first?
I did like acting at college as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But was it like, would you go around to the family party and they go, "What are you up to now?" Would you like be happy to go, "I'm trying out stand up," or would it be something you maybe didn't want to admit yet? Or
yeah, I think, like, obviously, like, my family's like really supportive and stuff. Like, if I said I'm doing this, then they'd instantly go, "Yeah, we can see that," because you've always been a bit of a madhead, just like jumping around all the time at parties and just in general. So it makes sense. And then, but it's that next step of getting them to come and watch you. Not like saying to them like, "Please come watch me," but when they come and watch you, you're a bit like, "Oh shit!" Like, family's here to see if I'm good at what I've been trying to craft for a few years. But yeah, they've definitely been like supportive, and just kind of, I think they knew as soon as I said like acting and comedy and stuff, like 100%.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned it then. You're doing like the Karl Porter and Friends and stuff like that. So is that all come off this clip, and then is this what you're trying to do now? Like, how did that opportunity come? Did you set that up, or did someone approach you asking you to do it? Or?
Yeah, it was Live Nation, kind of like book it, and they say, "We want to book like Karl and Friends, and we want to like take you on, and like let's see where we can get from, start the small rooms, build you up to the big rooms." So yeah, Karl and Friends is like an hour and a half maybe. It's like me doing 45 to an hour, but in between I'm kind of emceeing it as well, and I've got like 2 or 3 friends coming on doing like 10 minutes each, and it's just like welding it together as like a show, I guess.
The boss doing
It's
that.
mint, man. It's sick. It's like, because I did the Lowry, not the massive room, but like the 200 seater I think, and that was just like, do you know what I mean, like a bit of a dream, because it was like Manchester hometown. Like it's just meant to like be sat there like, I've got my show in a minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's no better feeling, I guess.
Yeah, and then what's the aspirations? What's the next step? Where are we going to go from there?
Hopefully, I think that hopefully do a first. Like I'm doing Edinburgh Fringe this year with Ben Silver, my mate. We're doing a split show, and then I think the next step after that is hopefully doing a solo show around the country. Yeah.
And then career goal. What's the top thing that you want to tick off your list?
I've always said MEN Arena, like any single time. I know it sounds a bit mad, but I've always said to like, when anyone like asks me that question, "Oh, you're doing comedy? What like where do you want to get to?" And I just always say the MEN, hometown, walking out in front of 21,000 people hopefully one day.
Yeah, be boss.
Yeah, be sick, man.
Start off with the slow mo and then do the rest.
Yeah,
of the
man. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it?" Like, yeah, that'd be sick.
All right, that's good. Well, we'll have a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll talk a bit more about footy after that. So
yeah, sweet, man.
We'll see you in a sec.
Nice one.
Hi, I'm Warren, the producer for the Football Historian podcast, and we're here today to talk to you about the Patreon subscription.
Yes, so for just £1 a month for the first 100 people, there's a lot of benefits that you get, and I think £1 is a terrific deal.
Pittance,
yes, £1 only, and you get early access, which means at least 24 hours before everyone else gets the episode, you get to watch it. There's also an extra section, we call it the Football Historian Podcast Extra Time, and we ask all the questions to the guests that no one else gets to see unless you're a patron. And on top of that, you're the ones who get to ask the questions. You send them in, we tell you which guest is going to be coming and sitting in this chair. You ask them, we record it, you get to watch it. No one else does. On top of that, we do a monthly special. We did one last night. It was a quiz. You were there.
Yeah, bedlam and great content.
Yeah, so hopefully you can watch that. As I said, we've got a round on Linvoy Primus or Lionel Messi. We've done mastermind stuff, all that. That's going to happen every month. The bigger this grows, we're going to do it even more regularly. Hopefully it'll be once a week. But we need your support. So to do that, £1 a month for the first 100 people. Your early support will be rewarded. From then on, it's £3 a month if you want to support us. If you want to pay £5 a month, you get all that we've just mentioned, but you get a poster. Warren will sign it, I'll sign it, all the lads. We'll get a few of the guests to do it as well. We'll send that out to you. And then for £10 a month, you get all that, the poster, all the early access, and you get a free copy of any of my books. So I've done one on Billy Liddell, Crossing the Park, Tommy Lawrence. They're all worth at least £20. For just £10, you get a copy of the book, all the stuff we've already mentioned. We'd really appreciate your support. We cannot do this without you.
This really is a passion project, and anything people can put into it goes straight back into it. We don't take a wage. We're doing this for free. We're doing this because we enjoy what we do.
That's it. It all makes the content better. And I say from just £1 a month, you can make our dreams come true. Thanks for the support. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Hello, welcome back. Part 2, Football Historian Podcast. Thank you for not running away. I saw on one of your sets that you said that you used to work in a stadium. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So what stadium?
Manchester City, Etihad.
Because she said on the thing, I don't want to say, I don't upset people. Did
I? Which clip was that?
I think it was the same one from your. It must have been the Gong Show. Like I used to work.
Oh, right, okay.
But is it upset people because that's not the team we support? Or
yeah, maybe. Because people
it upset you?
I think no, I'm sound with it, but I feel people may look at me and go, "Oh, he's a Man City fan then," but no, I'm not.
So what was that? Just bar staff or?
No, I was a binman.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
So I used to drive an electric tow truck around the stadium, like put the bins in, but like you'd have back-to-back games, so you'd have to like there was about 80 industrial bins. You'd have to take out, empty, put them back in, collect rubbish up and down the stadium. Basically, it was sick though because you were driving around only like 4 miles an hour, but you're like little electric thing like. I mean,
so was that every day or was that match days or?
It was like full time, yeah. So I sometimes like if there was match days, I'd do like 10-11 days on the bounce.
And see any of the players, any of the staff?
Yeah. Like there's been times where like I've nearly been caught doing mad shit. Like there was one time where like because sometimes I do like sex noises in me set. I don't know, you know what I mean? I'll just go like, and I was doing this thing where I was in this staff room, and it was when Pep Guardiola first came to City like 8 years ago, and he was basically like in a sort of like temporary office which was next to our staff room, and I'm in the staff room with all the staff room on with that night, and I'm going and all that, and then Pep just comes walking out and he's like, "Hello," and I was just like, "Yeah, mate." I'm like, "Oh, do you reckon he saw my leg on the table then?" You know, like just doing mad stuff. But yeah, I managed to see like because I work like I usually like clean Used to like clean the players like change rooms and stuff afterwards. So you'd see people just just like on the phones, like mate, waiting for the lift or something. So yeah, it was kind of cool being in that.
Who was the nicest? Who was the least nice? Can you tell us either side?
Rip them now like that. I'm doing shit for England. No, I'm joking. I don't know, to be fair. Like, I heard, and I kind of saw it in some sense, but I heard that Leroy Sané wasn't very nice. This is apparently like he just used to like ignore fans and kids and stuff when he like, maybe that was because he didn't like being at City. I don't know, but that's what I heard. But trying to think who was like Aguero was nice. He was dead sound. It was funny because I saw him in Zabaleta once, like both Argentinians, and this was before it came on top at the stadium, because sometimes when I first started 2016-17 you could actually just approach the players and get pictures like as staff, but like if you got caught 2 years after that doing it, you get sacked or whatever. But because it was just a bit intense, because when Pep came it all changed in a way. It was just like we want everything pristine, on point, and like Aguero and Zabaleta walking down like that to footballers, and everyone just went towards Aguero like, yes Aguero, like, because Zabaleta, he's top player, but he just like put his head down and went, no one wants my autograph, and just walked off. But yeah, Aguero was dead sound. That's
probably why Mane punched Sané then, wasn't it? If he's not that nicest.
Oh yeah.
Mane's the nicest one there. We must all that.
Munich won it last year, yeah. That was
well, if we I don't think we've actually said it yet, but you're a Liverpool fan, which maybe if we just first off address the fact that you're a Liverpool fan from Manchester.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Is that a rough childhood or a good childhood?
Both. There's both. Yeah, things to it. Because obviously I've got 3 older brothers. Well, twin brother, 2 older brothers. They're Man United fans. Like 2 older brothers are like diehard United fans. Like, you know what I mean? You say anything about Liverpool or anything, they're like, I'm watching Kamast. It's United, mate. So it was kind of fun. Like nowadays, because we're all grown up, it's cool to go back and then we'll debate and just sit and just like have banter and stuff. But back in the day, it was like I'd have to sit in the middle during Liverpool United games, and they just look at me like that. So you say anything, mate. I remember, I think we won in the FA Cup in 2006, 4th round.
Yeah.
I think, and Crouch scored.
Yeah,
man. And like he scored like that, and I was only like 13, and they were just looking at that, go and celebrate, and I celebrated and got absolutely twatted, but it was worth it because we never really beat United back then as well.
Yeah.
Because United were just dominating, so rough childhood. You know what I mean?
Well, and I asked you before as well about like your dream gigs and that. So if the Etihad offer you, because you've worked there, and obviously Anfield offer you, are you going to be tribal enough to not want to play in the stadium like that, or is it just anything, opportunities that come your way, you're happy to put your Liverpool loyalty aside? And
yeah, I reckon so, because it's kind of like you said, it's like an opportunity what probably won't come around a lot. So what are you saying if someone offered me to play at the Etihad?
If someone offered you to play at the Etihad, would that be like, I used to work here, this is mad, or would you be going, can you not get me Anfield instead?
Nah, I mean, if it was Man United play there, then it'd be a different story, I guess, because like Liverpool United are a bit more rivalry, but like City, it just got to the point with City now where you're like, they win all the time, don't they? So, but yeah, if something come about like that, it'd be too big not to turn down, I reckon.
That's no surprise. But I just want to ask you about being a public football fan as well. So, I said before, we've had Rob Thomas, we've had Marlon McCabe on, and Rob Thomas it was the first time he's ever really discussed football publicly. Okay. He doesn't really want to mix football with his career. He's happy to keep them separate, and he was comparing himself to someone like Adam Rowe, who's like been on Redmen TV, and he's very obviously a Liverpool fan. So was it a conscious decision of yours to say, well, make it public that you're a Liverpool fan and not just a football fan, or do you try and hide the Liverpool bit, or what's your thought process when you're making new stuff?
It's weird actually, because when I come to like Liverpool, I remember like because I managed to get a few tickets in that last year to Liverpool games, and I'd have people looking at me like, he's a mank. So people are always like on the fence, like more in Liverpool, because like they'll probably just hear me online and say, oh, he's a Manchester boy or whatever. But I never say like, I don't really think I say it anyway a lot that I'm a Liverpool fan, but I try and just keep it as quiet as I can. But I'm not like it's not a secret. Like I wouldn't be like, if someone approached me saying, who'd you support, I'd be like Liverpool. Yeah. Even if I was in the core of Manchester or something. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like you got to be normal in that situation. I mean, you get certain people, don't you? Like, oh, you fucking wanker or whatever. But you're just like, mate, it's football. It's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
well, that's it. Because I've seen, like, we were talking off camera about like some of the other YouTube stuff you've been on, and you're wearing a Liverpool shirt and you do a Liverpool stuff. But then at the same time, I saw like your interview on ESPN and that, and like it seems like you're just being a football fan, and like your
Yeah,
stuff on
yeah.
your Instagram now, where you like your most recent ones, like the referee and stuff. You're not like wearing a live bird on your socks.
Yeah, I am.
But so that's a deliberate choice. Then you're saying, just
Yeah,
to
of
try and
course.
make-
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then I just wanted again, obviously, because we said we've had him on, Marlon McCabe, Troy Hawke, he's done the Greeters Guild
Yeah.
at Man City. If you
Yeah.
get an offer, I don't know where the operation came
Yeah.
from. If you get an offer doing something with, like, say, City, say any other club, I don't know how maybe you're teaching them how to do a slow-mo celebration.
Yeah.
You'd happily do any club, as in and stuff like that.
I guess so, because like I know what obviously football team I support, and like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like I'll never support someone else, but you know, football for me, you know, I mentioned like it's big in my life, and like if any of the opportunities come like that, it would be a bit mad to turn down, I guess, because I think someone from City who I used to work with, one of the managers there, he said to me like, "Oh, we wanted to get you here for the Liverpool City game, but all the kind of people in City know that you're a Liverpool fan through working here, so we couldn't get you on." Which I was like, "Oh, it makes sense because it's Manchester, isn't it?" But but like you said, if it's anyone like, even if it was like Arsenal, Chelsea, they were like, "Do you want to come down and do some content?" It's kind of my job in it now, so I'd be daft to say no.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, that's what I thought. Well, obviously, we'll just touch. We're going to obviously talk about football history in a bit, hence the name of the podcast. But just talk a little bit about Liverpool now. Just saying, at time of recording, Arne Slot's just done his first press conference. What are you thinking for next season for Liverpool?
I think it's maybe, I don't know how to think about it, because obviously where we were last year in February, March of the season, we were looking at everyone was saying a quadruple and stuff, but it was the fact that we were there considering the season before. But I think with Arne Slot, it's just give him time, let him settle, see who he gets signed. Like, we obviously need to know what system he's playing, how he wants to play. But I feel like top four, maybe a trophy run. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're back in the Champions League as well, so you know it's good for us. So, and Klopp's left us in like such a good position with the players we've got, the team, the depth. So it looks good, but I'm not going to be like Premier League. You know what I mean? It's like, let's see what he brings and how he, you know, like gives himself to the fans.
Yeah, well, I've actually got a quote from you here, which you said.
Who, me?
Yes, from
shit.
last year before the season started. You said I'd take top four on a cup run. So it's exactly what you just said for this season.
Yeah, that's probably said every year.
So they came third, won a cup. So you got exactly what you wanted last year.
I did,
so
yeah.
you take exactly the same next season, I'm guessing.
I reckon, yeah, like I mentioned, because you never know, because, you know, he could, I mean, you know, imagine if he just won the league or something, do you know what I mean? It'd be mad, but you've got to be realistic and not jump on the horse too quick and be like, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, you know what I mean? Like, you want to win everything, but football nowadays is just so high level intensity, so you've got to think, you know what I mean? Like, because Tottenham would take that all day long if you look at it, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, but we finished, third last year? I'd still say we had a better season than Arsenal, technically.
Yeah.
Trophy.
Well, I think United fans are saying they had a better season than Arsenal as well, so it's hard to know. But I'd agree, obviously, winning the trophy and coming third.
Yeah, I've got to just silverware, yeah.
Well, and then I just want to ask you finally on this part as well, who will win the league next season?
City, probably.
Yeah, and then who's going to win the Champions League?
Real Madrid.
And who's going to win? I'll say the League Cup, seeing as we're the holders.
I won't mind taking it again. I love the League Cup. I would like to see someone mad win it, like Brighton or Brentford, or just someone, I don't know, someone who's not United or Chelsea or someone, but I'd take it.
But Liverpool allowed to, yeah. That's fine.
Record holders, aren't we? 10 now, isn't it? So.
Keep stretching that one,
Yeah.
All right, that's great. We'll go through a break and I'm going to talk more about your football history. So
Yeah,
we'll see you in a sec. Welcome back to the next section of the Football Historian podcast.
Sorry, Pete. I'm really sorry to interrupt you. But where'd you get that shirt from?
Oh, this Lazio number's just from Classic Football Shirts. Where'd you get yours from?
Thank you. Mine's from Classic Football Shirts as well.
Wow. Well, when I bought my shirt, I used the code TFH10 to get 10% off all orders. Did you use the same?
I did. I used a discount code. I think it was the same as yours.
Oh, TFH10? Oh, that's great, because if you want to get 10% off all your orders, you can use TFH10 at classicfootballshirts.com.
Unbelievable deal.
Hello, welcome back. Third section, Football Historian Podcast. And we're going to talk about football history, which is what we're here for. So, first one is just your first memory, your first game, football. When you think back to your childhood, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
To be fair, there was two, which is a bit mad because obviously there's one Liverpool game and then one Man United game. So the first game was the Worthington Cup final, 2003, when we beat United, Owen and Gerrard. So I remember watching that, and then that's where like, because it was mad. Because obviously I grew up in Manchester and all that. But when I watched Gerrard, like, I properly fell in love with football, just watching him as a player. So that, and the screamer he scored as well in the final to win the cup. That was definitely the first memory where I was like, right, I'm a Liverpool fan, like, just naturally or whatever. And then I remember watching the Manchester United Real Madrid. I think it was either round of 16 or quarter final.
Ronaldo
got an hat-trick at Old Trafford. I mean, Figo, Carlos, Zidane, like, where do you stop with that team? Like, it was something different, wasn't it? I just remember watching that, going like, this is like football, innit?
Yeah, that's the all black kit.
Yeah, man, it was just like, just surreal, because like United was probably the two biggest clubs in the world globally, and like to see him on that stage as a kid, and it was just like, whoa, this is like sick.
And then as a kid, did you go to the match often? Like, were you going?
No, not really. Like, I didn't really go. I think the first time I ever went to a game was probably like 10, 11 years ago. So I went to the Everton-Liverpool semi-finals, FA Cup.
Andy Carroll,
86 minute. Yeah, went 1-0 down at half time, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was one of the first games at Wembley. And then obviously, like I said, I've been to a few last year, but like, I think since we got Klopp, it's like gold dust to get tickets, in it.
Yeah.
So
it's hard work. Well,
yeah.
that's it. You don't really want Arne Slot to not do well, but it will make tickets easier if Liverpool come 10th.
If we start coming 10th, and
that's it. Then start getting your credits
get
up.
back to the Roy Hodgson days. Yeah.
That's actually why I started going Roy Hodgson. I got all my credits up because of that.
I was going to say.
Remember, it was like Bolton New Year's Day. It's like the only times I remember like it wasn't actually sold out. There was like, not like it was half empty. There was like corners that didn't have people sat in. That's how bad it was.
Dark days.
That's thankfully that helped me start going. So now I get to go to them all now. But what's the best game? I say best game that you've seen as a fan in the stadium, and then best game ever for you?
I think like the Everton one, just because arch rivals, semi-finals, FA Cup, 1-0 down to come back. Was it like 86 minutes?
Yeah.
You know, Wembley's just huge. And then the best game I watched on the TV. Does it have to be Liverpool?
Nope.
I'd probably say one of the, because I kind of got like a bit emotional when the World Cup final 2 years ago.
What, France
and Argentina.
Yeah, right, just
recent. Yeah, I was just buzzing for Messi.
Yeah,
because I'm like on the fence. I just like enjoy, you know, Messi, Ronaldo. But when the third goal went in for him, I remember sitting forward and she was just like, "Baby, okay?" And I was just like, I'm buzzing for him, you know, like, because it was just like meant to be for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's that kid growing up, and it was all that stuff after the penalty shootout where he looked up to the sky and he was like, "Today could be the day, Grandma." I think he said that because his grandma passed, and then when he won it, it was just like, because the game of football itself was just Mbappe getting an hat-trick in World Cup final for a laugh. Like, it was just
that Martinez save, what it was, that Kolo Moani or
when he put his leg out. And there's like memes with Messi like having flashbacks to 2014 going, if it weren't for him, I think he's just been a heroic penalty shootout this morning as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he was.
Again,
so
loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah,
but I know it's nice to hear not a Liverpool one as well.
Yeah, like I said, like I do love football in general. So
what I want to ask you next one is, what do you reckon the best era is of football? So obviously, from watching it, you won't have had too many, but it can be before then, it can be anything. But we give you like a 5-10 year period maybe when you think that football was at its best for you.
I think like recently, Liverpool City, the high intensity of that rivalry, like, you know, 90 points is not enough to win the league. That's how mad it was. You got to win 14 games on the bounce. But I think probably when I first got into football as well, like the Milans, like AC Milan, Real Madrid, just those teams. Like, I mean, you look at the Istanbul game, like that team, every single position, world class. Like, and grow it, like Brazil as well, national team. I feel like that was
probably. So we're talking here like noughties,
early noughties to like 2005. But then again, you got the Barcelona days in 2009. There's like so many separate teams. But I'd probably say, I think old school footy, like early noughties, was the best me.
Well, actually we'll go into this one later, don't worry. But I'm going to say now, which may be a tough question, but I think you have prepared, is that the best 5 Liverpool players of all time, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Gerrard's number 1. Like I said, he's the reason I watch football. Salah, I think you got to put Salah up there. I feel he's what he's done for us. He's like what 3rd, 4th top goal scorer now. So, and he's just unbelievable. I'd probably put Alonso in there because I think like Alonso Gerrard's for me is our best midfield, like in terms of the 2 centre mids and what they did for us. There's quite a few, isn't there? More from the Klopp days. Like I'd probably put Alisson up there, which is mad to put a keeper up there, but I think he's top 5 keepers of all time in the Premier League. I think like what he's done, because he's just been consistently world class since we got him. And then another.
Got more clock. You know, Van Dijk. You could have.
I was thinking Van Dijk or
Suarez,
Mane,
Torres.
That's what I mean. Suarez, put Suarez in there. I think just that single season alone was just like teared everyone up, didn't he? Like I can't believe we had him. So when you look at it and you think what he did at Barcelona, because I feel like he was the player below Ronaldo, Messi in his era. I think he's the 3rd best player of our generation, in my opinion. So. Yeah, I'd have to put Suarez.
So was he in 5th, or are you happy with your order?
So what was my order? Gerrard. I put Salah. I'd put Suarez 3rd. Who was up there? Alonso, and then Alisson. Yeah,
that's fine. And then if I can ask you the same question again, but for non-Liverpool players, who would be the best 5?
Who have? Does this include Messi and Ronaldo?
Yeah, anyone.
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 You'd have to put Messi and Ronaldo up there, 2 greatest players to ever grace the game, and we're fortunate to have them both. I put Hazard there. I love Hazard. He scared me watching him when he played against us. I just feel like in his peak, just unbelievable. Zidane, because I remember like before Messi and Ronaldo he was like the greatest footballer I looked at, because I grew up and what he did on as a player, as a leader and stuff. So probably put him 3rd, put Hazard 4th, and I'll probably swap it around just to think who the 5th one would be. So many, isn't there?
Yeah,
so many.
Original Ronaldo had him before.
Yeah, like original Ronaldo, like even Carlos, like Pirlo, like oh god, like Kaká as well. So I mean, I'm not losing whoever I pick, am I? Because they're all ballers, aren't
exactly.
they? I'd probably have to put Carlos in there as a defender, because just his free kicks and him as a left back, unreal.
Yeah, special. Okay, and then I've got a couple more questions here. I'm sorry to keep putting you on the spot.
No, sure.
The greatest manager of all time, who is it in your opinion?
I think in the next 5-10 years it'll be Pep. I just think successfully, like regardless of I know people say he's been given the teams because he's been at the top teams, but you still got to manage those teams. You still got to do your job as a manager, and I think he's won 10 leagues in 12 leagues in 15 years or something.
Surprised me, something like that.
Something mad, like 3-time Champions League. But then Ancelotti, 5 Champions Leagues. Ferguson, it's got to be them 3 on it. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably just with the Champions, like 5 Champions. I'd probably pick Ancelotti.
Yeah, and as you say, it could be Guardiola in 5 years' time.
Obviously, Ferguson for longevity and that what he did, but 5 Champions Leagues. Don Carlo, unreal, innit? So good.
Okay, well, the last 2 here, we'll just say it now. You were supposed to be joined by someone today. We won't say who it was just in case maybe it happens again in the future.
Yeah.
But they were a United fan, and the plan was to have you to do a combined 11, Liverpool and United. We did speak about it before on WhatsApp, and I said you said you were still happy to put yourself out there for the hatred of Liverpool and United fans you're going for now. But who would be your all-time Liverpool and United combined 11?
Right, okay. I'll do a 4-3-3.
Okay.
I'd have to have. I know, obviously, Schmeichel's like the peak, but I wasn't really able to watch him because I wasn't really, I couldn't speak back then because I was a kid. But I'd probably pick Alisson again. I watch more of Liverpool, and like I said, he's one of the top 5 keepers in the league, I'd say. So I'd pick him.
Right back.
I'd have to pick Trent just based on like talent, what he gives as a right back. Like, don't get it wrong, people say, he doesn't defend a lot and whatnot, but as a right back and what he's done over the years, you've never really seen that. So yeah, put
so Trent right
back.
And then your two centre backs.
Big Verge. It just sounds like a Liverpool one, doesn't it? But you know what, Verge is. He's the greatest centre back for Liverpool I've ever seen. 100%. He's up there again as one of the best centre backs. People say he's won one league, but off actual ability and talent and what he's done as a, he should have really won the Ballon d'Or. That's how good he was.
Yeah.
Like, to even be in that talk is mental. So I put him and Ferdinand. Ferdinand, like Vidic and Ferdinand were like one of the best partnerships ever. But if you had to pick Ferdinand, I'd put Ferdinand in there. Left back again. Like, I know Irwin is like the man who kind of like in the 90s and what he did is like on penalties, free kicks as a left back in general. He could switch as well. But I feel like the best right back since Ashley Cole is Robertson. Like over the last 6-7 years, I don't feel like City's never really had a actual consistent left back. United have been shit for 10 years, like consistently. So yeah, I put Robertson there.
And you're gonna go one holding, two attacking, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know who would play where, but I feel like the three to put in is Keane, Scholes, Gerrard. I feel there's no argument there. I feel like just Scholes and Gerrard, Keane, like probably the best captain in the Premier League era, innit? So yeah, I'd have them
you
three.
Won't get past them. And then your front three.
I put Rooney. I feel like he's underrated, to be fair. Like, goal scorer, absolute machine. And then obviously I'd put Salah on the right, and then I'd have to put Ronaldo on the left.
Yeah.
Like, because Ronaldo 2008. Obviously you got Suarez, you got Mane, but yeah, you got to put Ronaldo in there.
Yeah.
So you got to fit him in somehow.
Yeah.
And he'll go on the left for me. So yeah.
And who's the manager?
I'd have Klopp. No one else. Jurgen Klopp, baby, all day.
All right, that's fine. All right, we'll have a last break, and then we're going to settle some of the biggest debates in football history.
Yeah, man.
So we'll see you in a sec. Are you looking for a Kazakhstani football team to support? Then I think FC Kemay is the team you should support. Do you agree?
Growing up as a child, I always had FC Kemay posters on my bedroom wall.
Well, and all the children of the Kazakhstani future will have FC Kemay posters on their wall because FC Kemay is the team to support, and because of that, Tom has made us a chant that we're all going to follow. So,
up the Kemay, up the Kemay,
up the Kemay. Make sure you follow them on all the social medias. All the posts and all the things you should follow will appear below us right here. And you should be a supporter of FC Kemay.
Live, laugh, Kemay.
The debate.
Welcome to the debate. We're now going to settle the biggest debates of football history, and I'm going to start off with Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes. If I can have a 1, 2, 3 as well, please.
Gerrard, number one. It's pretty easy. Just as a Liverpool fan, I don't think either of them two could have done what Gerrard did in a team, and he wasn't surrounded by throughout his career like Lampard and Scholes was. It's difficult, really, to be fair, because obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. People probably expect me to put Scholes third, but I'd probably put Scholes second. I feel like watching him and seeing what he did, he was like the glue, if you like, and you know what I mean. Like, so many people, like Zidane and players have said like how good he was, but like, so I put him second and Lampard third. But again, all three of them are like, just what I mean. Got to be grateful that we watched them all in the same era, innit? So.
Yeah, it's just mad that they never played that well together, which is the
age-old
thing,
in
it?
England, Jesus.
It's crazy. Well, the next one is Pele or Maradona.
It's difficult on this because obviously I never watched him. Obviously Maradona, what he did against England in '86 and that, but maybe more like what Pele won 3 World Cups, Maradona won 1. But Pele played in the same league, didn't he? Like, was it Santos he played for?
Yeah. So it's basically he got carted around the world.
Yeah.
Rather than
Maradona
played for some of the biggest.
Yeah,
teams.
Maradona played for Napoli, Barcelona, Sevilla. So I'd probably just put Maradona based on where his career went in terms of club level. So yeah, Maradona. Yeah.
And then next one, I think we've already discussed, but Messi or Ronaldo.
This will probably shock people, but I've always said Ronaldo. But I mean, I was buzzing, like I mentioned before. I was absolutely elated when Messi won the World Cup because I was like, his career's coming to like a, he's not as good as he was, and he's still that legend or whatever. But it was meant for him to win that. But probably more Ronaldo through my school days because he just ruined my life. Like, but every single league he's gone, he's just donned it. Do you know what I mean? So, and I feel like he's worked for it more. Like, not saying Messi hasn't, but Messi was like he's played for Barcelona. Like, he was on that stage from the get go. Ronaldo's kind of like weaved himself, like from like Sporting to United, and then he went to Madrid. Like, and I just feel like globally as well as a player, I just feel like Ronaldo, what he's achieved, both of them what they achieved, but yeah, I've just always swayed towards Ronaldo.
I made you pick one. It's fine. Don't worry.
My missus will hate that, by the way. She's like, why Ronaldo? But.
Well, I think you also touched on this before, but another question we ask is, if Messi and Ronaldo are the best two of the last 25 years, who's the third best? You did say before Suarez.
Yeah, Luis Suarez.
Yeah. Stick by that.
Yeah, 100%. Because like I said, I still baffled sometimes how we got him. Obviously, he's had a few, what's the word, like controversy moments and all that with biting people and what he's done and stuff. With the Everest stuff, like stupid shit like that. But in terms of talent, like a goal scorer, like I think he won 2 golden shoes, like, which is unreal considering he's battling against Messi and Ronaldo. So yeah, for me, I feel like in our generation, it's definitely, I'd say Suarez is the third best. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one I want to ask is, who's the greatest team that's ever played the game? So it's a hard one, but
in terms of like what club level, national,
just any, it could be any team, but like you could say it over like a season period, a 2-season period, a tournament, one game, whatever you think.
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Because that Liverpool 7-0 against United. No, I'm joking. Obviously, you always look at the Brazil national team. I feel like they're the best nation. Like when they won the World Cup in 2002. But again, like you're looking at the Madrid, 3 Premier Leagues. 3 Champions Leagues. Probably them. What I've seen.
So like recent time, well, like
yeah, that just to win 3 Champions Leagues.
Yeah. So what was that?
2016, 17, and 18. Yeah, I feel, it's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because even winning one is like mental. But yeah, I'd probably say them.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. And then maybe a slightly interesting one for you. I don't know. A lot of Liverpool fans would go one side, but not being from the city, I'm not sure whether you'd say differently. Would you rather win the Premier League for your club or win the World Cup for your country?
Oh, Premier League. Don't get me wrong, like it would be sick to win the World Cup, but even when we won it 4 years ago, it was in the circumstances of COVID, so we weren't allowed to celebrate it properly. So I just want to see us win it, like with fans, run on the pitch, all that sort of stuff at the end. So yeah, Premier League.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And just another quick one is Buffon, Casillas and Neuer. Can you put them in order for me as well?
Oh, I'd probably put Buffon third. It's a bit of a statement in it. I just feel like it's difficult actually, isn't it? Probably just like based. I put Casillas first. Casillas, Neuer, Buffon. Yeah, man.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, that concludes our debate. That concludes our chat. Just for anyone watching at home, how do you want them to reach you? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, just obviously social media, Instagram, Karl Porter Comedy. I've got in my bio, I've got tickets to my shows if you want to come down. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll all be there at the MEN Arena in a few years' time. That's the plan.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching at home, and we'll see you next time on the Football Historian Podcast.